What's up, boys and girls? We are actually here at the shop, and we're going to be taking this massive pine tree down, which I parked my square body behind it just so you could get an idea of how big it actually is, because looking at it with the saw doesn't really do justice. So we've got a lot of hangers. I might cut a few of them off before I fall it, but what I always do with these great big trees is I always stand back quite a ways, and I basically picture an imaginary line right up through the center from the stalk. And as you can see, when you do that, this tree is major branch heavy on this side, so we shouldn't have any issue to fall this right here in the field. I'm not even going to bother hooking a line to it, so I think this is going to go quite easily. But it's a big tree with a big stump, so you kind of want to know what you're doing when you tackle stuff like this. So we're going to be doing this with my 592 XP. And like I say, the goal is to just lay it right here. So that's what's going to happen. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you do it. She just took a little bit to get started with them back hangers, but I knew it would go. That's a pretty big stump. That's my 592. What a big old tree. We're out of fuel. Yeah. Did ya? So there you have it. The old 592 does the job pretty well. And yes, this is my 592 that I blew up and they would not warranty. So I went ahead and had my cousin buy a new cylinder head and piston, and we rebuilt it. So it cost me like 420 bucks to fix it back up, and it's been working great. You'll notice this tree, when I was cutting it, when I start limbing, one of the limbs on the left hand side, basically as soon as I touch it, it just explodes. And what happens with these really big limby trees is when the tree falls, the limb gets sprung under pressure, and they're extremely dangerous to cut, and you want to really watch where you're standing and how you use your saw when you do that, because you can very, very easily get hurt, get your legs smashed, have the saw come at you, all kinds of crazy things can happen. And I'm glad the video caught it. As you see, it was a rather large limb, you know, 8-9 inches in diameter, and as soon as I touched it with the tip on the underside, it just exploded. So I made sure that my feet and body was out of the way when that happened, but I'll be honest, it still kind of gave me a bit of a surprise when it happened. So yeah, working with, you know, big trees and in the woods, any of that stuff, crazy things can happen at any moment, as you seen with the tractor the other day where we got it stuck and couldn't budge it. You know, after hauling massive loads out without even scratching a tire or struggling. So really appreciate you guys who are dedicated to the channel and watch all these videos. This one's a pretty good one. I always like taking big trees down. So yeah, this is not the only time I've used the 592 either. Since I rebuilt it, I did junk probably, oh, I don't know, 8 or 9 truckloads of wood with it so far, and made a few cuts on some bigger stuff, but the thing seems to be working good for now. I really hope it doesn't blow up again for no reason. But yeah, so like I say, appreciate you guys that stay tuned and listen to me blabble and go on. But I'm glad I got this little tree done for my friend, because he just replaced all my rocker sills. The underneath was all rotten and gone. The driver's side, we actually ended up taking the floor out and doing a bunch of work to the floor, bringing that over to meet up along here. He had to take the step sides off, so I owed him a favor. So I always like keeping up on my favors when people do one for me. So now I'd say the next step is going to be to get this thing undercoated to hell, and she should be ready for winter.